Yeah, good morning there guys, I hope you're well. It's the 14th day of December 2007. I'm up here in Parkville in Melbourne and just about to take Benny Boy's Hornet down to the beautiful coast of Mount Martha. It should be about 1 hour's drive, so, and looking forward to it. It's a bright sunny day here in Melbourne and it's been a beautiful night's sleep, great catching up with Mum, and it's time to get going. So we've got a big day ahead of us, a big bike ride, hopefully involving Joey and Danny and Benny, and it's going to go off. It's a family agenda. See you guys soon. Good morning to you, you little beauty.
Where are you going, Tommy?
I believe we're going to Frankston to take Lord and Lordess up to the Big Smoke. They'll be joining a train, and then we're just going to rob a bank and get out of there.
Okay. Is there anything to say?
We've started a new tour company from Mount Martha to Frankston, and Benny and Tuffy are going to be our first passengers, and then we're going to come back and head down to Lorne, about 200 k's away on the west coast of Victoria. So hang on.
Rightio then, it's time to embark upon our first journey of the day, but we've got to get Benny and Tuffy up to the beautiful land of the Moccasin, Frankston itself, before we can get going around the beautiful Port Phillip Bay. We've been talking about this trip for a long time, Danny. There's been a lot of preparation getting these bikes together.
Enormous preparation. These two iron horses have come from down the east coast of Australia, and we've both ridden them from Queensland and Sydney, which is over 2,500 kilometres north of Australia down to the south. So it's exciting to continue the journey around from Mount Martha to head to the beautiful Great Ocean Road. And it's obviously nice for us just to see the ocean and see the beautiful, beautiful salt sea.
And here we go, the beautiful Port Phillip Bay is what where Melbourne pretty much sits right in the middle of. And this Great Ocean Road, before we even get there, we're going to have to start from Mount Martha, from Safety Beach, and meander our way past the beautiful Dramana and then onto Rosebud, and all the way we get to follow the ocean and get that beautiful sea breeze and time to think on the motorbikes.
That's right, there's just no greater experience of just whether it be a bike or a car. We prefer the bike, obviously. It's nice to have the wind in your face, and it's nice not to have the confines of a vehicle around you. You can smell the ocean, look at the people, the faces, the shop windows, etc, etc. It's just a great deal of fun. So it doesn't matter where you are, you just got to get going, leave it all behind you. So where are we here, Tommy?
This looks like we're pretty close to the beautiful Sorrento before we get onto our humble boat. And as you were saying there, Danny, it's just compared to the red centre and the space of the desert, there's something about the ocean and getting on a motorbike which just gives you time to think and change the picture so you can put things into perspective. And there's certainly enough challenges going on the planet today to appreciate the need to get out, find some space, see the ocean, see some water, and just try and clear the mind for a few moments. We did this boat trip coming quite some years ago. Danny, do you remember that time?
Oh, we did do it a few years ago. I was just looking at the image there with Mount Martha in the background. Yeah, we did this Sorrento ferry trip back in year 10. Which was a couple of years ago, where we both spent some time at the Queen's Cliff Maritime Explorer, something, where we had to look after a bunch of seahorses and check out some revegetation areas up there in the Queen's Cliff beautiful beaches and sand dunes up there. So it was a wonderful step back in time to jump on this ferry, which operates every hour on the hour, which we first found out, which is always nice. It's a nice convenient trip. They were once going to build a bridge across the bay a long time ago, but the feasibility project obviously didn't work out. But this bay is well renowned for seeing beautiful dolphins and obviously seals, a whole bunch of marine life.
I thought that's either just leaving
Yeah.
or just coming.
It's about, I think it's about 4 in the afternoon, and we've got their boat, the Portuguese boat, the Queen's Cliff. We're about to board, and I think it's about an hour of a boat trip, so it should be a cracker.
Okay, it's time to get going, and as you were saying there, Danny, it's they did have some big plan to build a bridge over the Port Phillip Bay, but we've just heard that the go-ahead has been given to re-dredge the beautiful bay itself to allow larger tanker ships to come into it. And since growing up there in 30 years or so, it was amazing how much wildlife, how much marine life used to be present throughout the bay, very much as a sanctuary itself. So it's lovely to get back here and see it, but it's hard not to ignore the impact of human activity on these areas. And what sort of distance do we cover, Danny, when we cross this region of the bay?
It's about as long as, say, if you left here and got to the front gate, then came back again. It's somewhere around that sort of distance. Anyway, let's have a look at these beautiful images across Port Phillip Bay.
It's hard to imagine what it would have been like for the original indigenous people occupying the areas around the bay, particularly when the Europeans came in. It would be a stark contrast from the times that they would have lived in, and not so long ago, only 50 to 100 years ago. Just so raw and rugged, and I remember, as you were saying, go back enough years, you were seeing lots of seals and all sorts of marine life floating around there, and Time to Think is exactly what it's all about. Here we are, we've touched down on the beautiful ferry. The huge metallic gates open up so we can take our iron horses and continue on around the coast.
Heading down to Ocean's Grove, where there's some beautiful pubs and some great fish and chipperies, I think they're called. But it's such a great way of travelling around Victoria, heading to the Great Ocean Road. You can just hug the coastline and have a great time. How's the bike faring up here, Tom? You did pretty well?
Not too bad, Danny. The roads were really dry. She was perfect conditions for riding. As we always say, it's nice to scale down the normal engine of vehicles, and it's the greatest thing about these motorbikes is they have a fairly low impact on fuel consumption, and they allow you to feel like you are outside, the closest thing we have to riding a horse these days. And here it is. Here's where we start to make our way towards Lorne, past Torquay, and start to see that ocean, the real ocean itself, the southern waters, and feeling that beautiful salt air. And you really start to feel your mind opening up as you're on that bike. You get into that zone, and that's when it all starts happening.